Welcome to the Sales Influence Podcast, where we talk about finding the why in how people buy. I'm your host, Victor Antonio. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for lending me your ears. Anyway, today I want to talk about Made to Stick. I'm reading a book by the Heath brothers. I'm just like a Heath brothers fan. Chip and Ben Heath, they write different books. And there's an example of the book that I wanted to share with you because I go, oh, this I have to share with the Sales Influence tribe. Now, in order to kind of lay this out, I need you to take a mental test right now. Mental test, here it comes. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and all you got to do, you're driving, just think, if you have a paper in front of you because you're at home sitting in front of a desk or at a table, you can write down. But if you're driving again, be careful, be safe, just think of the ideas. Now, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to complete the following exercise. 15 seconds, that's 15 seconds. Here it is. I want you to think of something that is white. Go. Bam, lock that number in. All right, how many ideas did you come up with? All right, hold that thought. Now, second phase, one more example. One more exercise, rather. You ready? Another 15 seconds, that's all. You got to commit to this. 15 seconds. This time, what I want you to do is, I want you to think of something white that you find in your refrigerator. Go. Stop. All right. Now, if you can do this exercise, again, if you're driving, if you can mentally do this, great. How many answers did you get on the first question? Think of something white. Now, be honest. Don't cheat. How many did you get? Because I got to be honest. When I did it, I could only get one. That's what I got. I said paper. That was the only thing that came to mind. Paper. It was like 15 seconds. I'm like, 15 seconds to do this exercise. But it's interesting. In this second exercise, when I did it, I came up with 6 answers. What did you come up with? Did you come up with 6? I came up with milk, eggs, cheese, ice cream, jug. I kind of cheated, jug of milk. And inside the refrigerators, like the drawers, right? So those were my 6. So in the first one, I only got 1. And in the second one, I got 6. Now, let's talk about what is happening if this is happening to you. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you can jot down a comment, love to hear what you got on the first one and on the second one. Just love to hear your feedback and what you actually wrote down. Now, when we asked, when the Heath brothers asked, name something white, it's your brain goes, your brain starts searching for white. Paper. That was me, just paper. And then I go, I got to be honest, I said elephant, white elephant. I go, is there such a thing as a white elephant? And I got so caught up in that thought that I ran out of time. And so that was it. I got paper, right? But then immediately when they asked the second question, think of something that's white that's in your refrigerator. Immediately, probably like you, my brain went straight to my refrigerator and my visual cortex kicked in. In other words, the visual part of my brain started imagining what was in that refrigerator that was white. Maybe that happened to you. Let me know if that did, because that's what happened to me. And so this is a perfect example of, instead of asking a broad question, tell me something that is white, you say, tell me something that is white in your refrigerator. And immediately your brain just focuses in on that one object. Now, why is this important? First of all, it's a cool exercise. Second, I want to use it, and I want you to use it when you're asking for referrals. Too often we say, do you know anybody else who could use my services? That's what we typically say. Do you know anybody else who would be interested in ABC? Do you know anybody who might like BCD, whatever it may be, right? And we're very general. That's almost like asking somebody, hey, tell me what's white, something that's white, right? Now, what if you're asking for a referral, but this time, much like the refrigerator analogy, you're going to have them focus in. Let's say that you sell pools, right? you're a pool builder, right? And all of a sudden, what if I asked you this question? Hey, do you know anyone who is in your age range, assuming I got the ideal client prospect in front of me, who is, recently married, has their own house, maybe even they have a couple of kids that might enjoy a pool? Now, immediately, your brain is going to search the database for young couples with children who have a big backyard, because that's what I asked your brain to do. If you're selling to an older demographic, you might say, hey, do you know anybody who's an empty nester, a single or a couple who's an empty nester and just has a beautiful house and might be interested in a pool just like this? Immediately, they're going to think of their friends who might be single or empty nesters, and yeah, I know a couple. And now you could have that discussion. So what I want you to do is, instead of asking people, hey, do you know anybody who might ABC? Ask them very specifically, because if you know who your ideal client profile is, your buyer persona, then as part of asking for a referral, you should just include that to make it more specific and watch how the response rate will go up. And that is it for this Sales Influence podcast. Simple tip, but very powerful. And again, go back to the white/refrigerator example. It works. When you focus people in on something, they'll give you more information than you expected. So leave me some feedback on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you find me. Let me know what you think of this concept. I really like to hear what you have to say. Also, check out my online sales training platform, the Sales Velocity Academy. If you want to sell more faster, go to salesvelocityacademy.com. I personally think one of the most comprehensive sales platforms out there. Check it out. Lastly, I want to thank you for listening. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.
Hi, I'm Victor Antonio. I'm an author, sales trainer, and keynote speaker. I'm often asked, what makes a great speaker? Is it someone who delivers real content that the audience can use? Is it someone who engages the audience so they're part of the learning experience? Or is it someone who can motivate an audience to push them beyond their comfort zone and discover new abilities? The answer is yes. But the most important thing to remember is that I'm not there to look good. I'm there to make my client look good. Simply put, it's never about me, and it's always about them.